All right, let's just settle into our meditation posture. So, but first just try and land. And I'm not sure if probably you can down, if you're in the northern New Mexico area, you probably can smell the smoke from the fires. And it's pretty alarming. So try and just settle the mind. Know that you're safe. And bring your body to the same place. Bring your mind, to the same place your body is. So feet, if you're sitting at a desk, feet down on the ground, maybe raised with a cushion in a parallel position, so don't have your legs crossed or anything. And if you're sitting in the regular cross-legged meditation posture, you can put a couple of cushions underneath each knee and raise your hips slightly, your sits bones. They should be on something firm, but you can raise them maybe 2 to 4 inches. Hands in meditation mudra, right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. And just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. Just imagine as you're doing this, you're coaxing all those tiny muscles along the back to release, relax. Imagine you have it's like a puppeteer above you, just very gently lengthening. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. And just imagine, you can imagine, the tips of your ears being lengthened. And then, so you're lengthening your neck and very gently glide as much as you can your head back to be in line with your shoulders. So for some of us that, may not quite be possible, but just think of it in that direction. So your ears, your shoulders, and your hips are all in line. Because while we're meditating, sometimes the head is very heavy, and sometimes it can pull our posture, pull our neck. So then from there, it's like a hinge. So your head is just very gently tipped forward, putting a little bit of length in the back. So you're not rounding your back, you're not putting stress on your neck. Just very gently tipped forward. And the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose to a spot about 1 inch, 2 inches ahead if they were open. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. And just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the back of the eye, the nose, the cheeks, and that area around the mouth. And bring your awareness to the back of the head. Relax the scalp there, the ears, the inner ear, the temples, the jaw. And just release any tension in the back of the neck and the shoulders, and just allow your shoulder blades to drop down. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly. Limbs, hands, fingers and feet and toes. And just bring your mind to the breath, noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling is slightly cooler than the air you're exhaling. And welcome, Victor. And if there are any sounds in your environment, maybe someone's in your home, family members, maybe you have pets or children, Maybe you can hear pets outside. Maybe there's people walking past your home. Traffic, emergency vehicles. Just allow those sounds to be there. And just notice with interest what attracts and distracts your mind in terms of sound. And then very gently bring the mind back and allow the sound to fade. Bring your mind back to the breath. And then notice your thoughts. Try to put some space in between your thoughts. All your emotions, your feelings. Just allow them to flow. Try not to entangle yourself, because the thoughts can become like barbed wire. So try not to follow a story or make up a story or criticize yourself. So just try not to engage with the thoughts and just allow them to flow. And as we've been doing, we can put ourselves on the bank of the river and watch this river of mental moments flow by with interest and curiosity. And while we're sitting on the bank of the river, we're free from that river. So let's just bring to mind all those people of our life and our loved ones, our children, our spouses, our very dear friends, our work colleagues. Maybe they're your companions in your yoga class, your meditation group. And maybe, the people who you have constructive, kind of happy, relaxed relationships with. And then there's those people in your life who we have a bit of difficulty with. You don't feel so comfortable with them. You tend to try to avoid them. And then there's those strangers in your life. If you're on the freeway every day, thousands upon thousands of strangers passing through your life fleetingly at 60 to 80 miles per hour. And I'm wondering if, any of those friends, strangers, and enemies maybe have changed place in your life this past year. And any time during your life, even. So it's good to remember that it could change. Therefore, why hold this kind of concrete view of anger towards the enemy? At distance towards the stranger. So they all are deserving of our concern equally. Not just our loved ones, because they all have this wish to be happy and to be free from suffering. And they all have this incredible capacity for this enlightened mind. Everybody does, just like you. So we do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension all sentient beings. So just to remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we're using our mind. We create negativity with our mind, so we're going to use our mind to create some positive energy. So first is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done in this life or in past lives to harm any other sentient beings. So you can think of specific actions of your body and of your speech. And the reason we regret is based on this logic of karma, action. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. Because everything we experience is due to our past actions, our past karma. So the current suffering that we're experiencing is probably ranges from a little bit uncomfortable to quite unnerving. So perhaps we don't want to experience any more, so it makes logical sense to pull out these negative karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want this future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And then think, we also regret the delusions, the attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think again, I'm sick of this suffering. Then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And we're not needing Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. We're healing ourselves by relying upon his methods, his medicine. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine that this is the mind of your teacher, your spiritual guide, or whoever is this person you're relying upon to lead you on your spiritual path. And you might have more than one. And the one you have right now might be different to the one you have a few years down the track. But just, you can think of His Holiness the Dalai Lama even, or Lama Zopa Rinpoche, if you don't have a teacher that you're working with right now. So he's manifesting in this form for your benefit. So he's above the crown of your head, facing the same way as you, made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud. Just like our enlightened potential is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. And so Vajrasattva has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood, so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, this is a wish for people to be free from suffering. May you not suffer, may you be free from suffering. We need to rely upon other beings. So think about somebody you've maybe harmed. And then think about someone who's harmed you. And the reason particularly you would develop compassion for these people, even though a little bit more difficult, is because the suffering they've caused you is going to ripen for suffering for them, as suffering for them in the future. So you think, make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, for the people of your life as well, and think I must purify for their sake. So next is the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification with the visualization and mantra recitation. So we start with the body. Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or a waterfall, and it comes very forcefully from his heart and arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body, in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Excuse me. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is purification of speech, and Vajrasattva again very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body, excuse me, all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine that all the gossip, all the harsh speech, all the useless and careless speech, and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So how amazing would that be? The moment anybody hears your voice, it benefits their mind. So I don't think often we think of that, how our speech is coming across, how our tone of voice, how our words. We just kind of talk. But how amazing would it be if everything you spoke became something that was meaningful for others. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your depression, all your anger, all your anxieties, all your insecurities, all your bitterness and grudges and jealousy, you kind of felt like someone's done you wrong, or you're wishing to get revenge, all of this is instantly dispelled by the mantra and the light filling you. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anarakta Mibawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dudu Mibawa Sutokaya Mibawa Supokaya Mibawa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva ahom pe. So again, be delighted that your delusions, which are the source of all of our suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And so if you wish, you can do a couple of mantras each for the visualization of the body and of the speech of the mind that we've just done. Or you can imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajra mame mutsa vajra bawa maha samaya sattva aham pe Now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. And so before we do the power of resolve, let's just again rejoice in your efforts turning up here, whether you're not feeling very well, whether you've rushed to get here, whether you've come from work, whether you've not had dinner yet. So just rejoice in the effort that you've made to put everything else aside and come and do this practice for yourself. That's fantastic. So pat yourself on the back. Great job. So then rejoice in the efforts that you're making to kind of start to get on top of all these habits that we have that are harmful to ourselves and others, and just bring to mind something. Could be of the speech or of the body, the mind, that you have a habit to do that's harmful to you, either yourself or to others. And maybe just say, I think I'm going to refrain from this for 5 seconds or an hour or 8 hours while I sleep. And just think this decision we make, this aspiration we make, and we need to do it, I think, every day, because otherwise we just kind of get lazy and forget. It gives us the strength and the courage and the inspiration to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind melts into light, white light, and absorbs into you through your crown, and think my Guru's body, speech and mind. Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union oneness. And so Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So as much as you understand or have learned or have heard the teachings on emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So we look at all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. They are dependent arisings. This depends on that in order to come into existence. You can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me right now may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created this evening doing this purification to all the living beings, all the people of our life, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others your disciples, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. I know it's only Monday, but I feel like the week's gone already. Anyway, it will be soon enough. So I hope everybody has a nice day tomorrow, Tuesday. Stay safe, lots of love, sleep well tonight. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Mary, for hosting. Lots of love, everybody.
Katie. So
Take
good
care.
night.
Sleep well.